Good morning. You know what one of the greatest things you could ever experience is? Freedom. But everybody has a different definition about what freedom is, right? Janis Joplin, freedom is nothing left to lose. And we know she lost her own life. She took her own life. So that's not really freedom, is it? That's bondage. And another guy said, freedom is to ask nothing, expect nothing, and depend on nothing. Total independence. But it's also total despair. I'm not asking for anything. I don't expect anything. Can you imagine living that way? No hope, no expectation, not looking down the road for anything. You say, well, I'd love to not depend on anybody. Well, you depend on something all the time. You depend on God for the sustenance of your own body, for the oxygen you breathe, for all the different things that are going on in your body right now, fighting disease, all those things. You're depending on something. What is freedom, really? Let's talk about freedom. Freedom is the ability to fulfill the will of God. That's freedom. That's real freedom. Being in the will of God. And when we're called of God, He gives us the power to do that. He teaches us how to do that. But I want to give you some scriptures this morning I think that will help you with this. You know, the Israelites, they came all the way to Kadesh Barnea after all those years. They got right to the promised land. 12 spies went up. 2 came back with a positive report. 10 with a negative. And you know what happened? The 10 discouraged the people. They said, we can't do it. The giants are there. There's no way. Joshua and Caleb said, don't do that. Don't discourage the people. We can take it. Let's go now. Let's obey God. But you know what those people said? They said, if only we had died in the wilderness. Can you imagine what God felt like? 10 plagues I sent on Egypt. Parted the Red Sea. Did all these things for you, demonstrated with manna and this pillar of fire, all the things that you've seen that have led you and protected you and kept you and gave you meat in the wilderness, all those things, and you still don't believe me. Well, you know what God said? All right, then you'll get your wish. You'll die in the wilderness. Now, their own speech, their own unbelief, that was projected by their mouth. What did Jesus say? It's not what goes in somebody, it's what comes out of a person that defiles them. Our speech. Now, Proverbs 18:20 says, a man's stomach shall be satisfied from the fruit of his womb. Then he says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. I'm either speaking death, unbelief, criticism, negativism, despair, or I'm speaking life. My speech is in agreement with the Word of God and the promises of God. That's life. The Word of God brings life. That's how you got saved. He injected life into you through the Word of God. And so when I think about all of this and I really digest it, I come to realize that my mouth is my best friend or my worst enemy. What can I do? I want you to take this band. You can get one. You can order it through the church. You can go on the website. You can ask for one. And we'll send you one free. You can email us. You can go on Orchard Hills Church, orchardhillschurch.com, at orchardhillschurch.com. But I want you to understand something about this. It's very, very powerful. I found out about this through another preacher and through his book that he'd written. Started out giving these away, revolutionized his church, spread through the community, and then today given out over 1 million of these in transforming people's lives. How does it work? Here's what you do. You decide, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to criticize. I'm not going to be negative. I'm not going to gossip. CCNG. No criticism, no complaining, no negativism, no gossip. You'll find out very quickly how difficult that is. Because you filled your life, we all do, with all of this negativism and what we live by because we live under circumstances rather than the Word of God. Freedom is living by the Word of God. I want to encourage you Take this, and what you do is you put it on your arm. And you don't say anything critical, complain, negativist, argue, gossip. You don't do that. But when you do, take it off. Put it on your other hand. Wear it for a little while and start over. You start over on that arm. And you'll find out you're going to wear yourself out to begin with, because you will not realize how you're changing your lifestyle. The blessings will come from altering your mouth. Get one of these bracelets and let God do something from the inside out. God bless you. Have a great day.